Yo, what up, y'all? Listen, just woke up not too long ago. Decided to take a little walk, right? So something telling me I gotta start sharing my spiritual perspective with the world, cause it might be of some value to whoever. You feel me? So if I'm thinking where to start, right? Where do I start? Where do I start? Where do I start? I mean, I view everything through the lens of my spirituality, right? My spirituality is Rastafari, boom, right? So I'm not gonna go in a whole history lesson about that right now, but that's the lens at which I see my life through, right? Boom. So now, I mean, we can start from we can start from pre we can start from just before COVID, right? Just before COVID hit. This is like 2019, end of 2019. I mean, other people have talked about it, how CEOs started dipping or whatever like that. Noticeable. Boom. I'm in Europe though. I'm in Amsterdam, right? Boom. But we catching wind of all of this shit, and I mean, so one thing I started noticing, right, was the Asian people started wearing masks. This was like 2019, um, November, December, right? Boom. So I'm like, nah, that shit. I mean, at first you see like here and there, cause in New York you see it too. So this is but when I went to Amsterdam, it was like around that time it just started looking like. I mean, I'm like, nah, this shit don't really fit. I mean, like, this shit stand out to me. Like, why they all wearing masks like that? I mean, so I don't know. My intuition just told me like, yo, like, they know something you don't know. So, boom, I started paying attention to that. Just after that, I got caught by the people over in Amsterdam, because I stayed past however long I was supposed to stay, right? So then they booked my flight back to New York, right? So I'm like, yo, either way, I'm gonna get on this flight, right? Either way, I'm like, either I could get on this flight with the mask, or I could get on this flight without a mask. Something told me these Asians that I'm seeing in Amsterdam or in Holland, Netherlands, like these people know something I don't know. So December 20th or some shit like that, I'm flying back to New York from Amsterdam with my mask on the plane. No idea of a COVID, nothing, right? Boom. So now, I'm back in New York for a month, right? Back in New York, and I'm like, whatever, boom, nothing. Only major thing that happened was obviously, I mean, recipes, Kobe, Gigi. That was like end of January. That was kind of was the trigger point for, you feel me, the rest of that shit. So, boom. So after that, I think a week later, I went to Miami. It's all gonna make sense. I went to Miami for my sister's birthday, right? I went to go celebrate with the fam. Now all of the fam was there though. Now all of the fam was there. feel me? Some people was somewhere else. They wasn't. I mean, where the rest of us was at. But yeah, we linked up in Miami. Boom, right? For like a week. Then I blew out to Jamaica for a month, Dolly. Boom, right? Still nothing about no sickness, nothing about nothing, virus, nothing, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm in Jamaica for a month, right? 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks I'm there, I'm like, all right, whatever. My last maybe 10 days I spent in Kingston, right? And I fuck with Kingston, I do. But I'm like, yo, all of a sudden this virus shit started popping off when I was in Kingston. Same time, the fucking water shut off, bro. So I'm like, yo, how you know what I mean? Like, you trying to put people on, like, you telling them about the virus. But, I mean, acting like you trying to, inform the people about the virus or some shit. And then, next thing you know, you shut the water off on the people. Like, it's like, which one is it, my nigga? Like, you feel me? Can't be both. So, so, I'm like, yo, something not right, my nigga. Right? Something not right. So that's really was the issue for me right away. Like, something's off here, right? And to me, it was kind of obvious. So I'm like, whatever, boom. Finish my time in Kingston. On to the next. We in, back in Miami now. The next day, I land in Miami the very next day, my nigga. After I land in Miami. Florida, right? The very next day, my nigga. Shit shut down. Boom. Niggas couldn't go nowhere. I'm like, alright. Where you go? I mean, you can't go back to Jamaica. Niggas like, where you gonna go? So I'm like, alright. You get stuck in Miami. Right away, you remember the shit, when the shit first popped up, the shit was called coronavirus. It wasn't called what it's called now, right? So you had coronavirus. So like I said, I view everything through the lens of Rastafari. Like, that's how I make decisions in my life, is based off of that. Not off of feelings, not off of what my eyes see. Like, it's really like my gut feeling, which is like my intuition, which is tethered to Rastafari. So that's where I make my decisions from. All that other shit, you can miss me with that. So, boom, right? So once I see crown virus, I'm like, oh shit, that's got something to do with the crown. Like, I already know, the triple crown, so I already see, okay, this got something with the crown is about to go viral. That's what I seen right away. So I'm like, okay, not realizing what it was specifically, right? So I'm peeping that shit. And at first I was like not trying to like, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna move around, they shutting shit down, I'm gonna go see what's good, blah blah. And I just was watching some YouTube videos and shit. And it was just kinda hit me to the game a little bit, and then I started getting my own little downloads like, yo, this is a time right now, like, for the whole world to shut down like that with the internet and everything, like, for the whole world to shut down like that. That really mean, like, so you gotta remember, for me, how I see shit, the Most High's in control at all times. Even when it looks like some power is doing something, it's really like orchestrated for a greater outcome to serve the divine purpose. Period. You feel me? So even with that, I immediately, because that was my perspective at the time, like I just molded my mind frame to think like that. To to see how the creator's always in charge, or to see the positive and the negative. You know what I'm saying? Like real transmutation, like real light, like light work, like I mean that's like developing a photo, right? So that's how I see shit, you feel me? So that's how immediately I'm like, okay, I see the negative in this, but what's the positive? Right. And I'm like, the positive, the upside is like ridiculous, you feel me? So I'm like, because it's the first time that Earth got to be still. Like the whole fucking planet, my nigga. Who knew? Like the whole planet was still damn near, you feel me? So to me, that was just the only way that the creator, whatever you call Jah, Allah, whatever name you have for the one God creator, that was the way that he was going to get all of us, or she, or it, however you describe it, is going to get all of us to be in one place and sit our asses the fuck down, nigga. That's the only way. And that was prime time for the earth to rest. Because really, if you check life before January 2020 and life now, my nigga, it's a whole different ball game, nigga. Whole different ball game, nigga. It's a whole different beast. We ascended. Collectively we did. Some people are aware of it, some people are not. The earth is itself also ascended. So we living in a new earth, my nigga. We living in shit is operating that out. Everything is up. The whole lingo, all that shit. Nigga, when I was in Jamaica in February, that's when I first started hearing the lingo, everything is up. That shit, nigga, I was in New York in January, nobody was talking like that. I go to Jamaica, nigga, I came back, it's like Jamaica predicted the ascension, like, yo, shit's about to go up. Boom, shit shut down, next thing you know, everything took off, up, and it stuck, my nigga. Straight like that. So I'm like, yo, like, something going on, you feel me? So I peeped right away, like, the whole shit was about being still, so the earth could rest, rejuvenate, and then start to ascend. And then we were on a similar path collectively, you feel me? Those who chose to not fight that made a little more progress. Some people chose to resist it, I mean, and they gonna develop on their own time, period. So there's no judgment, you feel me? You're just saying this is what it is. Right? So boom, that's on the spiritual side of things. So now let's look to the more 3D side of things, right? Boom. As far as this whole situation, right? So you got this virus situation, right? Boom. So now right, people were skeptic from the beginning. Okay, why? For whatever shit starts to come out about, okay, what is this? But as time goes on, the people who were just intuitively skeptic, it's being proven that they have more reason to be skeptic as the facts come out. That was this thing man-made or was it naturally developed? And the stuff is coming out. It's not proven to be false that the shit was man-made. Meaning it's still possible that it could be proven to be a man-made virus, right? And if that is the case, then everyone who doesn't want to take the jab is justified, right, in that decision if that fact come out. But even if they don't, they still have free will to decide to not take something, you know what I mean, that they don't want to put in their body. That's just a God-given right. Fuck the Constitution, right? So that's my whole thing. I know what it is, but for the sake of the conversation, if it hasn't been proven that this thing was not man-made, then mandating something like a jab for that when it hasn't even been proven, you feel me? It hasn't even been proven that it was a naturally occurring thing. So it means if somebody man-made this thing and then they want to tell you to then take a jab for it, that means that jab is also some other manufactured shit, right? So you really gotta check it. Like, of course, me as a human being with common sense, which a lot of people, that shit is not as common as you think. Like, people with common sense, my nigga, would be like, let me wait and see what comes of this. This shit is in the courts. These people have facts. They have documents. Like, we want to see all of that shit. We want to see all of that shit. Why? Because this is people's lives that's at stake, right? Boom. So me, nah, I'm a no-go for the jabbo. And the whole way around it is, yo, you might have to pick up and move, nigga. Like, you might have to move your life, nigga, somewhere else. To a place where you don't got these mandates and shit in place. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's on you. Like, you know what I mean? Because everybody decide their own path. Like me, I would want to live somewhere where I not have to deal with that shit so intensely. You feel me? So Florida's looking like a goal. But right? So now even with this whole jab shit, right? Even the people who's on the side of the woke side, like, yeah, no, yo, don't take the shit, boom, boom, boom. Really and truly, like, I mean, I feel like in a lot of these coaches that talk about being like light workers and shit or whatever, they talk about it, but they ain't really about it. You feel me? They ain't really about it, like, because they will see somebody who's actually doing light work, actually, like, you feel me, doing the light work, and criticize that nigga versus niggas who's just shit talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So, right? So, it be those people that kind of, like, they think they serving a purpose sometimes, but sometimes they add into the fear because they fear mongering. Yo, don't take the jab. If you take the jab, boom, 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 this is gonna happen to you, boom, 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 boom. Right, but when you have something called faith, this is what a lot of people in these communities are lacking. Whether it's conscious community, whatever. Niggas is lacking something called faith. And relying on their own understanding. And that's where you fuck up. Right? Bob told you that. Because faith means you relying on something greater than yourself. When you have faith, my nigga, you know, like, yo, nigga, ain't no, what some jab got over the Most High? Like, what? So whoever took that shit, just like COVID, my nigga, just like COVID, and you took it, I mean, you got it, some people didn't, some people got it, some people didn't, right? Some people transitioned from getting it. Those people were a lesson to us. And what? What was the lesson from all these lives that we lost during the virus? What was the lesson? Was it cleanliness? Hand sanitizer everywhere, making sure everything's light. So was it cleanliness? Was it appreciating, you know what I mean, your breathing, your respiratory system more? What was the lesson in those lives? Right? And now some people got it and they still lived on from it. So obviously it didn't kill everybody, but some people like me, on going up a level, some people chose to be transitioned during that time for whatever reason, to be a part of that mass ascension, and we had to learn lessons from that. Now we think about the jab. Some people took the jab and went out, some people didn't. And I'm not saying everybody who did, because I'm not a fear monger. I ain't gonna say, yo, if you did this, X, Y, Z, what happened to you. Really, how I see it is, yeah, some people took it and they passed, they transition. They are our lessons as a collective to say what? Yo, make sure you know what you put in your body. You feel me? Like, maybe you have to become your own doctors now. And, you know what I'm saying? These type of things. These are lessons we learn from people who transition from, that may have recently taken a jab and transition. But then, right? Then, there's people who's taking it now that probably is in fear. You don't want them people living in fear. Really, how I see it, my nigga, like I said, Most High is over all this, right? So if he know this is what they doing, he like, yo, boom, whatever negative effects that shit was gonna have, it don't work no more. Bang, collective DNA upgrade for the whole planet. Bang, done. Period. Boom, shit doesn't work no more. See how all that fear is going? When you have faith, that fear be eliminate. It can't exist around that. So it's gonna be, you know what I mean? So the Most High would just upgrade the DNA, my nigga. And then the shit has no effect on it negative. So